But okay, so but now we talked about how showcase culture, it's not going to go anywhere. It is what it is, and you have to learn how to use it properly. So how do you guys know when you're working with a kid, we got to compete now, but you probably should mix in a couple showcases here and there? How do you create that blend? Because I feel like for a lot of parents, that's a confusing world right now. There's so many different travel teams. Like I think people just had tryouts for their travel team at the end of summer.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's just a cluster F.
Yeah.
They're trying out for 8 different teams. They're trying to, parents are trying to do what's best for their kid, what's going to help my kid develop the most, and then there's showcases to go to. It's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot. It's probably a little bit more on the pitching side than the hitting side, because pitching, you can blow out your arm.
Yeah.
You can blow out your arm.
Yeah, you're risking something if you choose to do a showcase at the wrong time.
Yeah, and it's also like your training regimen. Like, oh, I got this showcase on Saturday. I got to get in on Tuesday and Friday. Recovery is part of the development process. Like, if you're just go, 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 when does your body ever get back up to peak? And that's like a very, very honest conversation you have to have pretty much every week, especially like, during the spring and during the summer months, as far as, hey, if you're going here, you almost have to map out a 10 to 14 day schedule for them and say, hey, if we're going to go here, then we have to back off here, and then we can go back up to a certain point. I think you'll be good. A lot of it is, knowing your athletes. When, hey, this guy can throw 10 extra because he's going to keep on top of his stuff. He's shown a clean bill of health. He's, everything checks out. And that's the biggest thing. But, you tell these parents, you can't put too much pressure on the kid when you go to these things. They feel it, and, they'll come in and it's like, oh, we spent all this money and I didn't pitch very well. Like, you're not going to pitch well all the time. Sorry. That's the way of the game. Like, it's just going to happen. But if you sit at everything, it's like the burden of the money opportunity. It's like, oh, you'd never heard kids say that.
Yeah, that's a big piece too. Well, because the parents are spending so much money, right? They come to a gym like this, they do a pitching lesson with you, they do a hitting lesson with you. So now it's like, how do the parents not feel this pressure when you just drop, $3,000 this winter on your kid?
You got to travel, you got a hotel, you got to eat while you're there. What if you guys want to go out for a team night or something? You guys can probably do that. Like, it all adds up. And then, a lot of the mature kids out, they get it. They get it. You hear a lot about that. Like, I never heard it probably until maybe the last 12, 18 months or so. You start to hear these, sophomore, junior age kids. Like, they're just such a pressure to commit to a school so they can be done with this. And it sucks the life out of them.
Is that what it is, you think, to be done with it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's more along the lines of to be done with it. It's like the domino effect. Everything else starts, like, people start falling around you and or start signing around you.
Yeah.
It kind of makes you a little self-conscious and honestly self-doubting. Like, oh, can I actually do this? Like, XYZ is all going all over the place. They're all signing. Where am I at? And that's kind of that internal look they got to take, where, you have to be really truthful with the person in the mirror. Just, like, this is where I'm at.
Yeah, well, now with social media, it's right. It's like, once somebody signs, when somebody gets an offer, they're like, post it.
The best is when the kid comes in. Did you see this kid? He signed to wherever, and I throw 4 miles an hour harder than, like, but, like, who knows what they were looking for? Like, maybe you didn't present yourself the right way while you were there. That's a very strong aspect of it. Like, how do you handle yourself? Or does the coach want you? What was the level of competition? Have they been on you? How many other schools are competing for you? Is it a position thing? And, like, there's a lot of these variables, but the kids at the end of the day, they just want I just want to sign a piece of paper.